going through life, carrying this idea that maybe you're not enough, that maybe somehow you don't deserve all the things you've dreamed of having. And I understand why. The world we live in does that to us. It chips away at our confidence little by little. Maybe it was a job that didn't appreciate your hard work. Maybe it was a relationship where you gave everything and got very little in return. Or maybe it was just the constant noise of people around you telling you what you should or shouldn't be, what you can or can't have. All of that has a way of getting into your head, doesn't it? You start questioning yourself. You start thinking, maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm asking for too much. And over time, those doubts become like this weight you carry around with you. It gets heavier and heavier until one day you just stop trying to reach for the things you want. You settle. You accept less because deep down you've convinced yourself that's all you're capable of getting. But here's what I want you to understand. That weight, that doubt, it's not real. It's not the truth of who you are. It's just the product of everything you've been through, everything people have told you, everything society has tried to convince you of. And you've carried it for so long that it feels like a part of you. But it's not. You can put it down. You can let it go. Because the real truth, the truth that's been buried under all that doubt, is that you are worth so much more than you've been allowing yourself to believe. You are capable of so much more than you've been giving yourself credit for. Think about it. How many times have you accomplished something that you thought you couldn't? How many times have you surprised yourself with your own strength, your own ability to get through tough situations, your own resilience? You've been through things that would have broken other people, but you're still here. You're still standing. And that says something about you. It says that you are stronger than you know. It says that you have the capacity to overcome challenges, to push through obstacles and to come out the other side even stronger than before. So why, after everything you've been through, do you still doubt yourself? Maybe it's because you've spent so much time listening to other people's opinions about you. Maybe it's because you've been looking for validation in all the wrong places. You've been waiting for someone else to tell you that you're enough, that you're worthy, that you're capable. But here's the thing. No one else can give that to you. No one else can tell you what you're worth. That has to come from within you. The moment you realize your worth, the moment you truly understand that you deserve everything you've been dreaming of, everything changes. It's like a switch flips inside of you. And suddenly all the doubts, all the insecurities, all the fears, they don't have the same power over you anymore. You start to see yourself in a new light. You start to realize that the only thing that's been standing between you and the life you want is the belief that you're not enough. But you are enough. You've always been enough. The problem is, you've been letting other people define your worth for you. You've been looking at yourself through the lens of other people's opinions. And that lens is distorted. It's clouded by their own insecurities, their own fears, and their own limitations. And that's not fair to you. You deserve to see yourself clearly. You deserve to recognize your own power, your own potential, your own greatness. So how do you do that? How do you start to realize your worth when you've spent so long believing that you're not enough? It starts with changing the way you talk to yourself. It starts with challenging those negative thoughts that creep into your mind and try to convince you that you can't do it, that you don't deserve it, that you're not capable. Every time those thoughts come up, you need to stop them in their tracks and replace them with something stronger. You need to remind yourself of everything you've been through, everything you've accomplished, every time you've pushed through doubt and fear and come out the other side. You need to remind yourself of your strength, your resilience, your ability to adapt and grow. And most importantly, you need to remind yourself that you are not defined by your past, by your mistakes, or by the opinions of others. You are defined by what you do from this moment forward. Realizing your worth is a process. It's not something that happens overnight. It's something you have to work at every single day. But the more you do it, the easier it becomes. The more you start to believe in yourself, the more you start to trust your own abilities, the more you'll see that you were never the problem. The problem was that you were measuring yourself against other people's expectations instead of your own potential. You are worthy. You are capable. You deserve everything you've been dreaming of, and more. And once you realize that, once you really internalize that truth, you'll start to see the world differently. You'll start to see opportunities where before you only saw obstacles. You'll start to take risks that you were once too afraid to take, because you'll know deep down that you can handle whatever comes your way. So stop doubting yourself. Stop waiting for someone else to validate you. You don't need anyone else's permission to go after what you want. The only permission you need is your own. And once you give yourself that permission, once you fully embrace your worth, there's nothing that can stop you. You are powerful, you are strong, and you are more than enough. It's time to start living like it. It's time to start acting like the person you were always meant to be. Take a deep breath, let go of the doubts, and step into the version of yourself that's been waiting for you to acknowledge. Because you are worthy of it all, and it's time you started believing it. Now that you've started to recognize your worth, now that you've begun to see yourself in a different light, it's time to take action. Because understanding your worth is only the beginning. Knowing that you deserve more is powerful, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't act on it. This is where the real change happens. It's where you stop dreaming about the life you want and start creating it. It's where you stop waiting for permission and start taking what's yours. For so long, you've been holding back. Maybe it was fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of stepping outside of your comfort zone. Maybe it was self-doubt, that nagging voice in the back of your mind telling you that you're not ready, that you're not good enough, that you'll never be able to pull it off. Or maybe it was because you were waiting for the perfect moment, thinking that someday everything would line up and you'd finally feel ready to go after what you want. But here's the truth. There's never going to be a perfect moment. You're never going to feel 100% ready. If you're waiting for some magical time when all the stars align and you feel totally confident, you'll be waiting forever. And every moment you wait is a moment you're losing. Every day you put off going after what you want is another day where you're settling for less than you deserve. The only person who can change that is you. The only person who can make the decision to stop waiting, stop hesitating, and start taking what's yours is you. And it starts with one simple thing: action. You don't have to have all the answers right now. You don't have to know exactly how everything is going to play out. All you need to do is take that first step. Action creates momentum. When you start moving forward, even if you're not sure of the exact direction, you'll begin to see things more clearly. The path will start to reveal itself, but only if you take that first step. Sitting still, waiting for the right moment, isn't going to get you anywhere. It's like standing at the edge of a cliff, waiting for the wind to blow just right before you jump. But the truth is, there's never going to be a perfect gust of wind. You have to jump and trust that you'll learn how to fly on the way down. That's what taking what's yours is all about. It's about having the courage to step into the unknown, to risk failure, to risk looking foolish, because you know that what's on the other side of that fear is something so much greater than staying where you are. It's about not letting fear paralyze you, not letting doubt hold you back, but instead pushing through those feelings because you know that you're worth it. There's a common saying, fortune favors the bold, and it's true. The people who succeed, the people who live the lives they dream about, aren't the ones who are the smartest, the most talented, or the most capable. They're the ones who are willing to take risks. They're the ones who are willing to take action even when they're scared, even when they don't have all the answers. They're the ones who go after what they want with everything they have, because they know that no one is going to hand it to them. You need to be one of those people. You need to be willing to step out of your comfort zone and start claiming what's yours. No more waiting for the right time. No more waiting for someone to tell you that you're ready. You're ready now. You've been ready for a long time, even if you didn't realize it. And yes, there will be times when it feels overwhelming. There will be times when you stumble, when you make mistakes, when things don't go the way you planned. But that's part of the process. No one who has ever achieved anything great did it without falling down a few times along the way. The key is to keep getting up, to keep pushing forward, even when it feels hard. Especially when it feels hard. Because here's the thing, what's waiting for you on the other side of that effort, on the other side of that struggle, is everything you've been dreaming of. The success, the happiness, the fulfillment. It's all there. But you have to be willing to go after it. You have to be willing to fight for it. And don't think for a second that going after what's yours means you have to step on others or that it's selfish to want more. It's not selfish to climb what's yours. It's not selfish to want to live a life that makes you happy, to pursue your dreams, to go after the things that make you feel alive. You deserve that. You deserve to wake up every day feeling excited about your life, feeling proud of the choices you've made, feeling fulfilled in the things you're doing. And the only way to make that happen is by taking what's yours. For too long, you've been shrinking yourself. You've been afraid to take up space, afraid to ask for more, afraid to go after what you really want because you didn't want to rock the boat, because you didn't want to be seen as demanding or difficult. But you need to stop apologizing for wanting more. You need to stop feeling guilty for having big dreams, for wanting to live a life that reflects your worth. It's time to stop holding back. It's time to stop settling for less than you deserve. The world isn't going to hand you what you want just because you're a good person, just because you've been patient, just because you've been playing by the rules. You have to go out there and take it. You have to decide, right here and now, that you are done waiting, done doubting, done playing small. This is your life. You get one shot at this. So why not make it everything you've ever wanted? Why not go after the things that make your heart race? The things that set your soul on fire? Why not claim the life you deserve? No one is going to do it for you. No one is going to give you the permission you've been waiting for. It's on you. And you're more than capable of doing it. So take that first step, whatever it is. Whether it's going after a new job, starting that business you've always dreamed of, walking away from a situation that no longer serves you, or simply standing up for yourself in ways you haven't before. Just do it. Take that step and don't look back. Once you start, you'll see that the fear wasn't as big as you thought it was. The doubt wasn't as strong as you made it out to be. Every step you take toward claiming what's yours is a step toward a life that's more aligned with who you are and what you deserve. It's a step toward freedom. It's a step toward fulfillment. And it's a step toward becoming the person you were always meant to be. It's time. It's time to stop dreaming and start doing. It's time to stop wishing and start taking. You are ready. You are capable. And what you want is already out there waiting for you to reach out and claim it. So take what's yours and don't let anything or anyone stop you as you begin to take what's yours. Something inevitable happens. You start to realize that there are things, people and ideas you've been holding on to that you can't carry with you on this journey. You start to recognize that the past, the mistakes, the regrets, the people who didn't believe in you, the failures, has been anchoring you down. If you want to truly claim the life you deserve, you need to let go of all of that. You can't move forward while you're still tethered to everything that's behind you. This is one of the hardest parts of growth. Letting go is painful because the past, even with all its hurt and disappointment, is familiar. It's something you've carried with you for so long that it feels like a part of who you are. But here's the thing. Your past doesn't define you. It's shaped you, yes. It's taught you lessons, given you strength. But it doesn't have to determine your future. Holding on to it will only slow you down. It's time to cut those ties. Start by letting go of your mistakes. I know they're hard to forget. Every time you think about stepping forward, every time you think about reaching for something bigger, those mistakes creep back in, whispering in your ear that you're not worthy, that you're going to mess up again, that you're not good enough to succeed. But those mistakes don't have any real power over you unless you let them. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has moments they wish they could take back. But what separates is people who move forward and people who stay. Stark is the ability to learn from those mistakes and leave them in the past where they belong. You are not your past failures. You are not defined by the things that didn't work out before. What matters now is how you move forward. What matters is that you use those mistakes as stepping stones, not as walls that block your path. And it's not just your mistakes that you need to let go of. It's also the people who were never really in your corner. It's tough to admit, but not everyone you've had in your life is meant to stay with you as you move forward. Some people are comfortable with the version of you that they've always known. They've seen you play small. They've watched you settle. And they may not be ready to see you grow. They may not support your decision to step into your power because it threatens their comfort zone. You have to be willing to walk away from the people who aren't aligned with the person you're becoming. This doesn't mean cutting everyone out of your life, but it does mean reevaluating who has a place in your future. Are there people who keep you tied to the past? Are there people who only remind you of your mistakes, who hold you back with their doubt or negativity? You don't owe anyone an explanation for your growth. You don't owe anyone your loyalty if they aren't supporting the best version of you. Letting go of these relationships can be one of the hardest things to do, but it's also one of the most freeing. There's an emotional weight that comes with staying tied to people who don't believe in you, who don't want to see you succeed. That weight can be suffocating, and it can keep you from even trying to step into your full potential. You need people in your life who lift you up, who believe in your dreams, and who encourage you to take risks. Surround yourself with people who inspire you to be your best, not those who hold you back because they're afraid of seeing you change. And as hard as it is to let go of people and mistakes, it can be just as difficult to release the expectations you had for yourself. We all carry around these ideas of what our lives were supposed to look like, of the things we should have accomplished by now. Maybe you had a plan. By this age, you'd be at this point in your career, or you'd be in this kind of relationship, or you'd have achieved this or that. And when life doesn't follow that plan, it can feel like you failed. You carry the weight of those unmet expectations with you, like a constant reminder that you didn't live up to your own standards. But those expectations, they're not set in stone. Life doesn't follow a strict timeline. Just because things didn't happen the way you imagined, or in the time frame you thought they would, doesn't mean they won't happen. The path to success, to happiness, to fulfillment is rarely a straight line. It's full of twists, turns, and unexpected detours. You have to be willing to let go of the idea that your life has to look a certain way or follow a certain path. Instead of focusing on what didn't happen, focus on what can happen now. The future is wide open, and just because you didn't meet a certain expectation doesn't mean you can't achieve incredible things going forward. Let go of the disappointment and the regret tied to those old expectations and embrace the possibility that your future could be even better than you imagined. But you'll never get there if you're constantly looking back at what didn't happen. One of the most liberating things you can do for yourself is to forgive your past. Forgive yourself for the mistakes, for the wrong turns, for the times you didn't take action when you should have. Let go of the what-ifs and the should-haves, because they no longer serve you. The only thing they do is keep you stuck, replaying old scenarios in your mind that you can't change. Forgiving yourself and letting go of the past isn't about pretending it didn't happen. It's about acknowledging it, learning from it, and then releasing it so that you can move forward without being weighed down. It's about recognizing that you've grown from those experiences and that you don't have to carry the burden of them anymore. The past is over. The only power it has is the power you give it, and if you're constantly looking back, constantly revisiting old mistakes or old relationships or old expectations, you're giving it power over your future. You're allowing it to dictate what's possible for you going forward. But the truth is, the future is entirely yours to shape. The only thing holding you back from claiming it is your attachment to what's behind you. So let go of the guilt, the shame, the disappointment. Let go of the people who don't believe in you. Let go of the version of yourself that's tied to old expectations, to mistakes, to past failures. You are not that person anymore. You've grown. You've learned. You're stronger now. And the only way to step into the future you deserve is to release everything that's been holding you back. It's time to free yourself. It's time to give yourself permission to move forward without the weight of the past dragging you down. Once you do, you'll feel lighter, more focused, and more ready to take on whatever comes next. You'll be able to move forward with confidence, knowing that you're no longer tethered to old patterns or old fears. You'll be free to claim the life that's waiting for you, the life that's yours for the taking. And once you let go of the past, you'll be amazed at how quickly things start to shift. The opportunities that were once hidden will start to appear. The fears that once held you back will start to fade. And you'll realize that the only thing standing between you and everything you've ever wanted was your attachment to what no longer served you. Letting go isn't easy. It takes courage. It takes strength. But the freedom it brings is worth every ounce of effort. Once you let go, you'll be unstoppable. You'll be free to take what's yours, to move forward with purpose, and to create a future that's not defined by what's behind you, but by what you're capable of achieving. Once you've let go of the past, once you've decided that you're no longer bound by the mistakes, the doubts, the fears, or the people who held you back, there's one more thing you need to commit to. Never looking back. This is where the real strength comes in, because letting go is one thing, but keeping your eyes forward and refusing to revisit those old patterns, those old thoughts, is a daily decision. It's a mindset shift. You can't allow yourself to be pulled back into the comfort of old habits or the familiarity of regret. You've set your sights on the future, and that's where your focus needs to stay. It's human nature to look back. It's natural to reflect, to wonder if you made the right choices, if maybe things would have turned out differently if you had just done one thing another way. But here's the problem with looking back. It distracts you from where you're going. Every time you allow yourself to focus on what's behind you, you lose momentum. You stop moving forward because you're too busy trying to make sense of what's already happened. But the past is done. It can't be changed. No matter how much you think about it, no matter how many times you replay certain moments in your head, when you look back, you're giving power to things that no longer serve you. You're handing over your energy to moments and people that don't belong in your future. And that energy is precious. It's the fuel you need to drive yourself toward the life you're building. Don't waste it on things that have already happened. Don't let it drain you by lingering in places you've already left. The life you want, the things you deserve, they're ahead of you, not behind you. And the only way you're going to reach them is by keeping your focus forward. Looking back isn't just about regret or mistakes. Sometimes it's about comfort. The past, even the painful parts, can feel familiar. And familiarity can be comforting even if it's not where you want to be. You might find yourself drawn to the comfort of what you've always known, even if what you've always known isn't good for you. Maybe it's a toxic relationship you've left but still think about. Maybe it's a job that wasn't fulfilling, but at least it was stable. Or maybe it's the version of yourself that didn't take risks because staying safe felt easier. But here's the truth. Comfort zones are illusions. They give you the false sense of security, but they also keep you stuck. You can't grow if you stay where it's comfortable. You can't achieve your biggest dreams if you keep looking back to the safety of the familiar. Growth happens in the unknown. It happens when you step out of that comfort zone and push yourself into new territory, where things might feel uncertain, but where the potential for greatness exists. The life you want is outside of your comfort zone. The success, the happiness, the fulfillment you're searching for. It's not where you've been. It's in the places you haven't gone yet. And the only way to get there is to stop looking back. Stop clinging to the things that no longer fit the person you're becoming. You're evolving. You're growing. And that means leaving behind the parts of you that are too small for where you're headed. When you look back, you're also giving fear a foothold. Every time you question your choices, every time you wonder if you should have done something differently, you open the door to fear. And fear loves to keep you stuck. It loves to tell you that the future is too uncertain, too risky, that maybe you were better off staying where you were. But that's a lie. Fear doesn't want you to move forward because moving forward means stepping into your power. It means taking control of your life and owning your decisions. And fear can't survive when you do that. So when you feel the pull to look back, to revisit old doubts or regrets, remind yourself that looking back only feeds your fear. It only keeps you from seeing the opportunities that are right in front of you. Every time you look over your shoulder, you're taking your eyes off the road ahead. And when you do that, you lose sight of where you're going. You lose focus on what's possible. And the longer you look back, the harder it becomes to get back on track. That's why it's so important to make a commitment to yourself. You've let go of the past. You've worked hard to free yourself from the things that were holding you back. Now you need to promise yourself that you won't let those things sneak back into your life. You won't let old habits, old doubts, or old fears drag you back to where you started. You're on a new path now, and that path only moves forward. Looking back is not an option anymore. There will be moments when the temptation to look back is strong. Maybe you'll hit a rough patch. Maybe things won't go as smoothly as you hoped. And in those moments it's easy to think, maybe I should go back. Maybe I made a mistake. But those are the moments when you need to be the strongest. Those are the moments when you need to remind yourself of why you started this journey in the first place. Why you decided to let go of the things that were holding you down. Remember that looking back is just a distraction. It's a way for your mind to avoid the discomfort of moving forward into the unknown. But you've come too far to turn around now. You've done too much work on yourself to let fear or doubt pull you back into old patterns. You owe it to yourself to keep moving forward, to keep pushing toward the life you deserve. And here's the thing, the more you move forward without looking back, the easier it becomes. Momentum builds, confidence builds. Every step you take toward your future makes you stronger, more resilient, more certain that you're on the right path. And before you know it, the temptation to look back won't be there anymore. You'll be so focused on what's ahead, so committed to your growth, that the past will feel like a distant memory, something you learned from but no longer feel tied to. This is your journey. This is your life, and you have every right to move forward without carrying the weight of what's behind you. You deserve to give yourself the chance to see what's possible, to discover just how far you can go when you stop looking back and start living fully in the present, with your eyes firmly fixed on the future. So don't let doubt creep in. Don't let fear convince you that you were better off where you were. You weren't. You were playing small. You were holding yourself back. But now you're ready for something bigger. Now you're ready to take what's yours and leave the rest behind. Keep your eyes forward. Keep your heart open to the possibilities that lie ahead. The past is behind you for a reason. It's there to teach you, but it's not there to keep you. You're not meant to live in the past. You're meant to grow, to evolve, to push yourself toward the future that's waiting for you. And the only way you'll get there is if you refuse to look back. Let today be the day you make that commitment to yourself. Let today be the day you decide, once and for all, that you're done living in the shadow of your past. You're done revisiting old regrets or wishing things had gone differently. The past no longer has any power over you. You're moving forward now and you're not looking back. Not ever again. This is your time. This is your moment to fully step into the life you've always wanted, to claim what's yours, and to do it without hesitation, without fear, and without looking back. Every step you take from here is toward your future. And that future, it's going to be incredible, because you're ready for it, you're worthy of it. And it's yours for the taking, now that you've decided to take what's yours, that you've let go of the past, and you've committed to never looking back. It's time to fully embrace your future. This is the moment where you step into the driver's seat of your life, where you own every decision, every success, every challenge, and every opportunity. This is your future. No one else can dictate it, no one else can control it, and no one else can live it for you. It's yours, and it's time to own it. Owning your future means taking full responsibility for your life. It's recognizing that you have the power to shape your reality, that the choices you make from here on out determine where you go and who you become. For too long, you might have let circumstances, people, or fear make decisions for you. You might have believed that life was something that happened to you, that you had to react to it rather than create it. But that's not the case anymore. Now you know better. Now you know that your future is something you can design, something you can actively participate in and mold into exactly what you want it to be. But to truly own your future, you need to start by believing in your ability to create the life you want. You need to have faith in yourself and your vision. That means trusting your instincts, trusting your decisions, and trusting that no matter what challenges come your way, you have what it takes to overcome them. The life you've been dreaming of, the goals you've set, the success you want. It's all possible. But it starts with you believing in your power to make it happen. Owning your future also means recognizing that success isn't linear. It's not a straight line from where you are now to where you want to be. There will be ups and downs, moments of doubt, times when things don't go according to plan. But that's part of the process. Those challenges, those setbacks, they're not roadblocks. They're learning experiences. They're opportunities for growth. Owning your future means embracing those moments with the understanding that every obstacle is there to make you stronger, to teach you something you need to know in order to reach the next level. Think about it like this. Every challenge you face is like a stepping stone. You might stumble on one, but as long as you keep moving forward, you're still making progress. Each time you overcome a difficulty, you're proving to yourself just how resilient, capable, and determined you are. Owning your future means not being afraid of the hard times because you know they're temporary. You know that you're going to get through them, and when you do, you'll be that much closer to where you want to be. Another crucial part of owning your future is setting clear goals. You need to be intentional about where you're headed. It's not enough to have a vague idea of what you want. You need to be specific. What does success look like to you? What do you want your life to feel like? What kind of person do you want to be? These are the questions you need to ask yourself, because owning your future means having a vision. It means knowing where you're going and being committed to getting there, no matter what it takes. But here's the thing. Your goals don't have to be set in stone. As you grow, as you experience new things, your goals may shift. That's okay. Owning your future means being flexible, being open to change, and adapting when necessary. Sometimes, the path you're on will lead you to a place you didn't expect. But that's part of the beauty of the journey. Be open to new opportunities. Be willing to pivot when something no longer aligns with who you are or where you're headed. That flexibility is what will keep you moving forward, no matter what life throws at you. Owning your future also means letting go of excuses. It's easy to blame external factors for why you're not where you want to be. Lack of time, lack of resources, lack of support. But the truth is, those are just obstacles, not roadblocks. If you're serious about owning your future, you need to take full responsibility for your actions and your choices. You need to stop waiting for the perfect conditions and start working with what you have. Because the reality is, the perfect moment to start will never come. There will always be challenges. There will always be reasons why it's easier to wait. But owning your future means deciding that now is the time. Right now. No more waiting for things to be easier or for everything to fall into place. You have the power to create momentum, even in less than ideal circumstances. The more you act, the more you move, the more the universe responds to your efforts. That's what owning your future looks like. It's being proactive. It's taking control. And it's understanding that you are the key to unlocking everything you want. Part of owning your future is also about resilience. You're going to face setbacks. You're going to encounter moments of failure. And when those moments come, it's easy to think that maybe you've made a mistake, that maybe this path isn't for you. But failure is not a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's a part of success. It's a necessary step in your journey. Owning your future means understanding that every failure is an opportunity to learn, to improve, and to come back stronger. It's about knowing that you're not defined by your setbacks, but by how you respond to them. When you own your future, you don't allow failure to derail you. You don't allow setbacks to make you question your worth or your abilities. Instead, you use them as fuel to keep going. You use them as reminders that you're pushing yourself, that you're stepping out of your comfort zone, and that growth is happening. Resilience is what separates those who merely dream of success from those who actually achieve it. It's the determination to keep moving forward, even when things get tough, that will ultimately lead you to the life you want. And let's not forget about gratitude. Owning your future isn't just about pushing yourself relentlessly toward your goals. It's also about appreciating where you are right now. It's about recognizing the progress you've made, no matter how small, and celebrating the wins along the way. Gratitude is what keeps you grounded. It's what reminds you that while you're striving for more, you're already abundant in so many ways. Owning your future means balancing ambition with appreciation. It means being hungry for growth, but also recognizing the beauty of the present moment. Gratitude helps you stay motivated. When you take time to acknowledge what you've achieved, you remind yourself that you're capable of even more. It fuels your confidence, it strengthens your resolve, and it reinforces your belief in your ability to create the future you want. So while you're focused on moving forward, don't forget to pause and give yourself credit for how far you've already come. Owning your future means acknowledging the journey, not just the destination. Finally, owning your future is about having unwavering confidence in yourself. It's about knowing that you are the author of your story. No one else can dictate how it ends. No one else has the power to take away what's yours unless you allow them to. You've worked hard to get here, and you've overcome obstacles that would have stopped others in their tracks. You have the strength, the wisdom, and the resilience to make your future whatever you want it to be. So stand tall in your power, own your decisions, own your path, and own your success. This is your life, and it's time to take full control of it. It's time to live with intention, to act with purpose, and to stop holding yourself back. Your future is bright. It's full of potential. And now that you've decided to own it, there's nothing that can stop you. From this moment on, you are in charge. You are the creator of your destiny, and you have everything you need to succeed. Own your future, and never let anyone or anything make you doubt that you are worthy of all the success, happiness, and fulfillment that's waiting for you. This is your time, and it's up to you to make it everything you want it to be. Take what's yours, and don't look back. The future belongs to you.